So you want to travel? Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Traveling is one of the best things a person can do. And in today's video, I'm going to break down how you can travel to Bali, Indonesia for the low low. And it's a lot easier than you think. So this past March, I went to Bali with my good friend Marco. And we decided to go to Bali because we Googled the cheapest places to visit that are also the most beautiful. And Bali is one of the first places that pops up. And I was always surprised because I always heard about Bali and I always thought Bali was a little bit more expensive. But I was wrong, and I was happy I was wrong because I actually got to go. So the first step you want to do when searching up where to go and you're trying to do it at an affordable cost is search up on Google real easily the cheapest places to visit. Bali popped up. We looked around at other places. We thought about Portugal. We thought about other places in Latin America. But we settled on Bali because we felt like there was a lot more offered with Bali in terms of scenery, the vibe, the people, the type of tourists that are going to be there as well. And for the most part, that everybody speaks English there, which was a big plus. So step number one, find a country that's cheap but also beautiful to visit, and that's as easy as just going on Google. So now you know where you want to go. Now step number two is finding how you're going to get there. So Marco and I did some research and we found some apps that help you find cheap flights to anywhere you want to go. These apps included Hopper and Skyscanner. We actually went through Hopper and we found a flight about 3 months before we actually were going to go, and we got it for about $700. Now the problem is you have to be willing to have layovers and you have to be willing to find a long flight. And basically our flight was like 16 hours with a 12-hour layover in Hong Kong. But hey, at least you get to go to Hong Kong. You know, that's how I looked at it. Like, I get to go to Hong Kong. I've always wanted to go to China and Hong Kong. That sounds awesome. So just know when you're looking for these prices, if you're trying to be affordable, you're not gonna have the best of both worlds unless you think it's the best of both worlds. I really thought Hong Kong would be super cool, so I was excited. Some people don't like long flights. Some people don't like waiting. You know, time is money. I totally understand that. But if I'm gonna have a layover, I want it to be in a country that I've actually wanted to explore and see. So when we went on this flight, we got it for $700. We went to Hong Kong and we got to see the culture of Hong Kong and explore for the night, which was really fun. I'm glad we got to do that. After the layover in Hong Kong, we were even more excited to get to Bali, and then we finally got to Bali. So step number two, find a cheap flight and use apps like Hopper or Escape Houston or Skyscanner, and it's a lot easier than you think it is. So now you know how to get there. Well, step number three is about where you're gonna stay once you get there. And that's a lot easier to figure out than you think. First, you have to do some research to see what part of the country is the most fun or has what you're looking for. You know, Bali is an island, but there's a lot of cities and a lot of different styles of regions and places that, you know, will cater to different people and different interests. For me, I like people, I like tourists, I like meeting a lot of different people, I like having fun, I like being loud. So we decided to stay near Kuta Beach. However, depending what you pick, rates might be cheaper to stay there than another place. Because Kuta is a tourist place, they're gonna charge a little bit more than somewhere that's a little bit more native. But the downside of that is because you're in a place where not that much is happening, you're gonna have to spend more money on traveling to the places where things are happening. In Kuta Beach, we had enough going on right around there that we were never bored, but we were also able to go to other places and visit different parts of the island. So what we did was go on bookings.com, we looked up hotels around Kuta Beach, and we found a really cheap hotel for about $300 for 10 days. Sweet, I'm down. $300 between me and my friend, that's $150 each. We're gonna split a room. That's it. We ain't trying to have two rooms. Why? We're going together. Let's have fun. So for a total of $1,000, we already have the plane flight and the hotel all paid for, all good to go. Which leads us to the fourth step. How much money do you want to bring from there? Once you're able to calculate how much the plane flight is and how much the hotel is, all you have to ask yourself is how much more can I afford to bring? Now remember, you don't have to stress out too much about this because Bali is actually really cheap. All you have to do is look at your wallet, look at your budget, see how much you can bring. The more the merrier, because you don't have to spend it all. So Marco and I's game plan was to keep this trip under $1,500. So with the plane flight being $700 and the hotel split between us being $150 each, I'm at $850. So I thought, hey, why do I have to go to $1,500? Let me save a little bit more money. Let me only bring $500. We got $500 in cash and we took it overseas with us to Bali, where we would do the currency exchange there. And we realized that we were going to be in Bali for 10 days, and we were hoping that $50 a day would be enough. We knew the food was really cheap from the get-go, so we thought maybe $10 a day on food and $40 to do whatever we wanted. You know, if we wanted to rent out a bike, if we wanted to go surfing, if we wanted to go check out a temple, we had $40 each to split with transportation to go wherever we needed to go. So tip number 4, figure out your budget and how much you actually see yourself spending, or how much you are able to spend over there. And the more money you can bring, the merrier. We were just very confident that we could survive on $50 a day, and we did. So that was awesome. Now the 5th step when you get there, it has to do with your phone. Make sure you call your wireless carrier to see if you can have service and data in Bali, Indonesia. Not a lot of carriers have service over there. I know for me, I did not have service. So I wish I brought an unlocked phone, because you can always change out the SIM card when you get there. They have in Bali wireless companies that can give you a SIM card, and you could just run for like maybe $30 a month or something like that, and you'll be able to have internet everywhere you go. We didn't have that luxury, and it was a struggle, because when we first got there, we thought it would be a good idea to get bikes. We wanted to ride the scooters, we wanted to get around, we thought it would be cheaper, and it was cheaper. However, we did not have maps, and we didn't have like the most detailed maps in our hands, and it was a lot of work to just be looking here to stop and then look and then stop and look. So the first day we rented the scooters, we were like, yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore. So we got rid of the scooters. But if you have internet service and you can use the maps, then you'll probably have a lot better chance to get around, and it's a little bit cheaper. But just be wary, the drivers are a little scary and crazy, but if you're okay with that, you can handle it, then I definitely recommend getting a scooter, and you can have a lot of fun with that. If you don't want a scooter, just get a Bluebird taxi. I recommend Bluebird taxis because they actually use the meter, and the meter's not rigged, and they're not gonna like rip you off. When I was there, everyone said get Bluebird, don't get anybody else. And I love that Bali was very oriented to tourists, to let them know, hey, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. Everyone was kind of looking out for us, and they all spoke English, and I love that because I want to connect to these people. I want to see what they're about, see their culture, and they were more than willing and more happy to tell us about it and show us. It just made the trip a lot more fun because I could actually interact with everyone I came across. So my final tip before going to Bali is to figure out why you're going to Bali and what you really care about and value and want to see. I know Marco and I were all about the temples, and we were all about the beaches, the islands that are near Bali. We went to Nusa Penida. I definitely recommend going to Nusa Penida. It was the most stunning thing I've ever seen in my life, and I just want to go back there every day. It was amazing. It was incredible. Like, I love Bali because it had so much to offer. So find out what you like that it offers, because it has something for everyone. And when I was there, I met so many Japanese people, I met so many Australian people, I met a lot of people everywhere. And again, that's what I love about Bali. People are very open, even the tourists, even people from Japan and Australia. They would love to talk and have fun, and there was like no judgment. Everybody was there to experience the beauty of this island that was Bali. My final tip, and this is a tip for all travelers and no matter where you're going, is negotiate. They're gonna try to get you, okay? And if you're not smart, they're gonna get you good. First day there is gonna be the hardest day to negotiate. You're probably gonna spend the most amount of money the first day there because you don't know how much the exchange is, you don't know how much things are worth, you don't know how much you can actually get a deal on certain things. So don't be afraid to cut the price in half. Don't be afraid to lowball them. It's not disrespectful. It's just you'll learn. You'll learn that it's okay to like lowball them because they're trying to get your money, like, you know. And I understand that they have a hustle, but you gotta understand that you're there to travel on a budget, not to just blow all your money the first day. So only buy things you really need, and make sure you're cutting the price in half at least. You can actually negotiate more than that. And I'm mostly talking about the vendors on the streets. You're gonna see a lot of people on the streets coming up to you saying, hey, come buy this, hey, come check this out. They think you're Australian. If you look like me, they'll think you're Australian, and they'll try to talk to you in an accent, which I liked. It was funny. But make sure you just tell them, hey, no, I'm good, or you negotiate properly. You can also go to the mall and find some really cool stuff, but you can't really negotiate in the malls. You're better off negotiating on the street vendors for things like souvenirs and shot glasses. So those are my tips for traveling to Bali affordably. It's a lot easier than you think. You just gotta put a little bit of work in, a little bit of time, but if you really wanna travel, it's completely worth it, and I definitely recommend going to Bali, Indonesia. If this is your first time traveling, Bali, Indonesia is a great place to start, and I know a lot of people who have already been traveling and been to Bali that that keep returning just because they had so much fun there and they enjoyed so much, and there's so much more that I didn't even get to see with my 10 days being there. My name is Alec Garza. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any more questions, comment below. Have you ever been to Bali? Do you care to go to Bali? Where's your favorite place to travel, and what are some cheap places to travel to? And if you have any more tips, please leave them in the comments below. My name is Alec Garza. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.